Okay, so finding and proving inverses. First, in order to find the inverse, we need to switch x with y. So I'm going to first change f of x to y. And then I'm going to switch my x and my y. So it becomes x equals y minus 4 cubed plus 2. And then my goal is to solve for y. Okay, so initially I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. That gives me x minus 2 equals y minus 4 cubed. And I know it's tempting to try to cube that out, but we're really just trying to get into y. And so in order to get rid of a third power, we can do a third root. The cube and the cube root will cancel each other right out. And now we've got the cube root of x minus 2 is equal to y minus 4. Last step is just to add the 4 over. Be careful, 4 is not like terms with negative 2 because it is not under a cube root. So I get a cube root of x minus 2 plus 4 is on the outside. And instead of equal to y, I'm going to use function notation and say that it's equal to f inverse of x. Okay, so here's my inverse. My next step is to prove that this actually is the inverse. So in order to prove that it's the inverse, I want to show that f of f inverse of x is equal to x. And I also want to show f inverse of f of x is equal to x. Because y equals x is the identity function. Okay, so essentially what this first one means is I'm taking the inverse and I'm plugging it in to the original function in place of x. So the inverse, which is the cube root of x minus 2 plus 4, is getting substituted in place of x in the original function. So instead of x minus 4 cubed plus 2, I'm taking out the x and I'm putting in cube root of x minus 2 plus 4. And I'm going to simplify that expression. So I've got 4 minus 4, that's gone. And so now I've got the cube root of x minus 2 cubed plus 2. The cube and the cube root cancel out, leaving me with x minus 2 plus 2. And negative 2 plus 2 cancel out, leaving me with x. So I'm back to the identity function. And I just want to check that the same thing happens when I go the other way. So the other way, I'm taking f of x and plugging that into the inverse. So f of x, originally being x minus 4 cubed plus 2, is going to replace x in the inverse now. So the inverse was the cube root of x minus 2 plus 4. But instead of x, I'm going to take that out and I'm going to put x minus 4 cubed plus 2. Okay, as I start to simplify, the 2 minus 2 will be gone. And that leaves me with the cube root of x minus 4 cubed. And then plus 4 outside the radical. But cube root cubed, again, will cancel each other out. That leaves me with x minus 4 plus 4. And negative 4 plus 4 is x. So I'm left with the identity function again. So when I take the inverse and plug it into the original, it equals x. And when I take the original and plug it into the inverse, I also get back x. That's how I'm proving that I correctly found the inverse.